Hey everyone, so on today's episode we're going to be discussing that de-aging technology that's being used more and more these days and ask ourselves, would they ever bring it into the James Bond franchise? Should they use it? Should they not use it? What are the possibilities? What's my reaction to all this CGI de-aging technology as well? And all of that is coming up right now. You know, when it comes to de-aging technology, I think it's fair to say I have a very mixed reaction to it. On one hand, I think it's actually quite incredible what this technology does. The fact that you could bring that, say, like Peter Cushing, in a way, for Rogue One back into a new film, I thought was really actually quite incredible. And actually how the technology has improved so much over the years is actually quite stunning to see. I think the Harrison Ford de-age, what we've seen in Indiana Jones the Dial of Destiny trailer, looks actually quite incredibly well, and I was honestly quite blown away by how the technology was used in Martin Scorsese's The Irishman. That, I think, truly was something quite incredible. But on the other side of things, I do think it is certainly going into, if you would say, the unhappy Happy Valley. By that, I think you can say no matter what film de-aging technology is used in, you can tell it's not real. It's not 100% a real person. It looks still slightly fake, and there's something very unnerving. There's just something not right about it, and it takes you out of any film or TV show I think you're watching with the technology. It's not its fault. It's still developing. But at the same time, I feel like everyone watching it, it's just a CGI gimmick. And I can't help but wonder, will this technology ever be used in the Bond series? Could they potentially bring back a Timothy Dalton, a Pierce Brosnan back in to do another film? And what are the possibilities? Should they not do it? All these things I want to answer right here, right now. But before we get into that, everyone, can I ask, if you haven't already, why not actually give us a like, comment and subscribe, please? We're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. So if you really can help us, that would be absolutely amazing. So just going off what I said earlier, I think the two big things that people think about when it comes to de-aging technology and the Bond franchise is maybe the possibility of that third Timothy Dalton James Bond movie, The Property of a Lady, with a de-aged Timothy Dalton, maybe the de-aged Anthony Hopkins, a de-aged Catherine Zeta-Jones, finally having that come out to be like maybe potentially the next James Bond film. Or even following on from that, could we get a de-aged Pierce Brosnan back in the franchise, back to the original timeline where it left off, during his fifth Bond adventure we all wish that he had? Those, I think, are the really big, massive possibilities when it comes to using the de-aging technology with James Bond. But that is only just the tip of the iceberg, really. It's not just bringing back actors who are currently alive at the moment and just de-aging them for the future movies. It's also potentially as well the possibility of bringing back, say, a young Sean Connery, a young Roger Moore, a young George Lazenby, bringing back maybe even someone to play Bernard Lee's version of M, Lois Maxwell, bringing back a younger Samantha Bond, taking some of those actors who all think could have been one of those great villains of all time in the Bond franchise but never got a chance to. You can now potentially hire them, and then you can decide what age you actually want them to be, their actual age of how they are now, or you want them back how they used to be in their prime. What this de-aging technology does, I think, for the Bond franchise, it just completely opens up the possibility of, no matter who you are, actor or actress, no matter what age you are, you could potentially star in a new movie and you could certainly be made to look younger. You could be how you used to be. The possibilities are just endless. But then we now need to answer the big question, as Ian Malcolm said, why?
And before you even knew what you had, you patented it and packaged it and slapped it on a plastic lunchbox, and now you're selling it. You want to sell it. Well,
to me, there are two massive issues I have with the use of de-aging technology in the Bond franchise, and the first one is very much the uncanny valley. For those of you who don't know the term, the uncanny valley is what we use as audience members when we see something that isn't real, ergo a CGI character. We can tell if they're trying to look too realistic and it just doesn't look right. Some famous examples of bad version could have been like the Polar Express, when they were just starting truly motion capture, where the faces just didn't look quite right. But on the other hand, you've got some great CGI characters that smash the uncanny valley with things like Thanos. Even though we know it's not real, we still 100% believe that Thanos is there. And for me, I think when it comes to technology on humans, it is a bit of an issue. Now, don't get me wrong, the technology has definitely improved and it will continue to improve. And I, as a fan, will enjoy seeing how the technology advances. And I think just even looking at the new Indiana Jones 5 trailer that just came out, the de-aging technology and how it looks on young Harrison Ford is already even, I think, a massive step forward. But the next question on that is, would people actually accept a new film with an old actor? This brings me on to the second, and I think the most biggest issue of using the de-aging technology in the Bond franchise, which for me, this wouldn't be like a great grand step forward. This would be, as far as I'm concerned, a massive step back and not relying on being daring and do something new. What this technology does, as I say, it gives you options saying, oh, we're struggling, we'll just have another Sean Connery James Bond movie. Or, and instead of innovating going forward, we'll just rely on absolutely 100% what we know what to do. If we start relying on this technology, people will not be hired as much, people will just not get the same chances when it comes to actors and actresses. One of the things I love about the Bond franchise, it's a continual growing, changing, evolving over time. Its ability not just to be stuck in its ways, and ability to adapt and try something new and go in different directions. And I feel if you add the de-aging technology into this is a massive red flag of that just potentially going away, and that really does scare me. I think I'll end this video on leaving you guys with a thought of, if this technology was used in the Bond franchise, what directions could the series go in? For me, it could go in, I think, in a massive disaster where less creativity is used, less daring, less risks are taken. And I also think that basically us hardcore Bond fans, the general audience, would we actually really accept a complete CGI de-aged actor as our lead in a role for a film, or would we just find it a bit weird, not quite right? There's so many different possibilities to this, and that's why I created this video here, because I wanted to chat with you all about it and get your opinion on it. So don't forget, please definitely give me your opinion on what de-aging technology you think is good or bad, and would you like to see it in the Bond franchise as well. My name's Henry Stevens and I'm the Bond Geek. Goodbye.